In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at listings for sale that have advertised themselves as motivated sellers. Now, there's a lot of ways to figure this out. Sometimes I connect the dots myself, just knowing my experience, knowing what the listing history has been, keeping an eye on the market. And sometimes, obviously, my job is much easier than that because the listings themselves advertise as such. And as always, as I go through the listings that are motivated seller listings, I'm going to break down the area, the building, and generally give you what I think and some insights. You know, I'm a very chatty Cathy, as a lot of my clients would like to say. So without further ado, let's get started. So before we go to the board, you may ask yourself, how do listings advertise as motivated sellers? Very simple, in the remarks for brokers. Now, I personally disagree with this method unless it's a very, very dire situation, but a lot of realtors, even when it's not really a motivated seller, may advertise as such, perhaps, you know, influence a transaction. But in today's market, I don't think any of that is happening. I think it's truly a lot of motivated sellers in today's market. All right, so here we have a list of all the properties that have in their brokerage remarks motivated seller, and this is just for the city of Toronto. We see a total of 202 results for condos, right? Homes as well, you can find a lot of results. Of course, condos are under a little bit more duress at this point in time. But still, that's quite a bit. 202 units that have advertised themselves as motivated sellers. There is definitely deals to be had here. Let's start with this one, for example, in 251 Jarvis, unit 3812. The reason I always start with like these types of buildings is because to kind of reaffirm that there is a reason these units are not moving. Even in a hot market, 251 Jarvis units are not moving that well because it's not a good building whatsoever. It has tons of issues. And you can see in the listing history here, 675 back in 2022, 635, and then 635 in 2022, now $500,000 on the dot. This is probably also a price change as well. So this 1+1 unit with one washroom in 251 Jarvis is a motivated sale with a motivated seller, but that should not influence you because this is a building better avoided if possible. By the way, if you want to know which other buildings I recommend to avoid, or for any other buying, selling, leasing inquiries, like any buildings I actually love, a little bit of positivity, you can check out the rest of the videos on this channel or get in touch with me. Many of my clients, buyers, sellers have come through this channel. You can also check out their experiences on my Google reviews. But the link is in the bio. Don't be shy. Give me a call, say hi. This one's interesting. This unit in 15 Lower Jarvis, unit 1501. Listed for $523,000. Once again, has advertised itself as a motivated seller. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-wash. And you know, this building, the Lighthouse Condos, I like it, but I don't love it. The unit itself is very small, and that's kind of the common theme with this building. Very miniature units in size. Very miniature units in size. Building is good, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad building by any means. Matter of fact, it's above average, but the price per square foot would make you believe it's one of the best, and I think it falls short of that. Nonetheless, this 1-bedroom, 1-washroom unit, 15 Lower Jarvis, is a motivated seller. As I'm going through the list here, I'm trying to pick out buildings maybe I haven't discussed before, because I know I talk a lot about a lot of buildings already here. Well, this one, I don't think I've ever discussed this one. 121 McMahon Drive, unit 2802, listed for $588,000, 1+1 with 1 washroom, 1 parking, no locker. Before I get into the building, once again, the listing history makes the case obvious as to if indeed it is a motivated seller. Even if the listing didn't state as such, it would be quite clear, but they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. You know, you're always chasing your shadow when you see a listing history like this. What I mean by that is when they were listed at $599, they ought to have been listed at $588. When they were listed at $588, they ought to have been listed lower. Listen, if you're selling in a down market, you cannot always be one step behind the market. You have to beat the market to the spot. Otherwise, don't sell in a down market. Wait for the market to turn around. Anyways, the building itself is okay. It has issues for sure. I like the newer McMahon Drive buildings better. This is one of the older ones, but they're all interconnected. Matter of fact, I created this whole entire 15-minute video on everything you need to know about the McMahon buildings. It's on my channel. Go check it out. And when it's Concord, you want to buy new Concord. New Concord is actually good. Old Concord, not so much. There's exceptions, but generally not so much. New Concord is actually, they've made a lot of improvements. I'm not saying every building now, but for the most of the buildings I've been exposed to, since 2023 on onwards, it's pretty good. And you know, Bayview Village here is a stretch. I wouldn't consider this a Bayview Village condo, but I guess you can make that argument. Nonetheless though, for $588, motivated seller as listed. If you want to buy in this building, in this area, and you like the McMahon Drive buildings, which I think the newer ones are better, like the 90s and 85s, could be a good deal to be had here. Let's take a look at this one, 585 Bloor. Now this unit in 585 Bloor, unit 419, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom, listed for $620,000 with no parking. And I really like 585 Bloor. Matter of fact, I helped a client of mine recently rent a unit in this building. You can find that video on my Instagram and TikTok. So I really like the building. I really like the builder, Tridel, obviously. It is near the cemetery, and I wonder if this unit, if we go through the pictures, has a cemetery view. This is all, well, apparently no pictures of the inside, which can clearly indicate to us that it's probably tenanted and in bad shape. I mean, take a look at this. They listed at $798,000 in the beginning of 2025. Then they went to 718, then 588. Now it's 620. I mean, that is a price drop. That is a free fall in terms of price drop. Definitely a motivated seller. Let's go towards a little bit of the higher price points, because this is not just impacting the lower price points, right? Let's go down the list a little bit further. Let's take a look at this unit, for instance, in 8 York. 8 York, unit 2210, listed for $818,000, a 1+2, which is not every day you see that, with 2 washrooms. And I really like 8 York. It's a really good building. The Water Club Condos, I really like it. And the unit looks in pretty decent condition. Has water views, has been renovated for sure, and I'm very impressed. This is obviously, a lot of it is, I would say, digital staging. This is probably one of the pluses, and really clear, clean views. But simply put, in this market, this is overpriced. As much as I like the building, it is an older building. And clearly the market is speaking for itself. And listen, like in today's market, the market speaks for itself, right? If you're overpriced, you're gonna stay on the market for a long time. And this is not just someone who does these videos. I work with buyers every day, buyers from 2 bedrooms in downtown to North York to York Region to freehold detached buyers in Markham, Richmond Hill. I can tell you that what we're doing with our buyers, we are showing listings that are overpriced because prices are negotiable. But at the end of the day, we can only fit so much in the day. And we're gonna show things that are overpriced but within reason, if that makes sense. I know that's oxymoron. How can something be overpriced within reason? You know what I mean, if they're not egregiously overpriced. And this is not even necessarily commentary on this, but I'm just saying, if you really want to make your life easy as a seller in today's market, proper pricing or close to proper pricing, a little bit above market value, is gonna do you so much good. And then you have a listing such as this one, 308 Jarvis, brand new building, unit 204. The reason I'm very familiar with this unit and this building is because I have a listing in this building for sale as well. And this building just closed, a bunch of people just closed with the builder, not even proper photos of the inside. I also wonder if this unit has even been delivered yet, because they kind of do it in order. But it's listed for $989. 3+1, all fit into 900 to 999 square feet is tough. You know, I can probably tell you, once again, having a listing in this building, people have closed with the builder, and it's not a situation they ever thought they would be in when they initially bought from the builder. But actually, thus far, my exposure, I was working on the seller side in this building, not with this listing, with another listing, obviously, that you might have seen on this channel, depending on when I released the video, before this or after this. But the point is, my experience with it's a really good building, actually. It's really, I like everything thus far. The concierge and management thus far have been really good and helpful. Brand new building, has that new feel, really helpful concierge. The amenities are not ready yet, and it's a little bit, obviously it's on Jarvis. Some people would consider that sketchy. I don't, but a lot of buyers are really paranoid of crime. A lot of buyers can care less. As long as they like the building, they like the unit, they will live amongst whoever. But yeah, those are some motivated seller listings. And obviously that was just Toronto. We can go through York Region, different property types, and we will find a lot of results as well. Obviously less for freehold, because freehold is holding up much better, as I discussed in one of my most recent videos. Anyways, as always, guys, if you enjoyed it, subscribe. If you have any buying, selling, leasing inquiries, get in touch. Don't be shy. And yep, thank you for watching.